Okay, so here I am with my 5'4" Tomo Hydronaut shortboard, riding it as a quad, showing those fins because I plan to do some more series about this board with different fin setups. Headed out to Dominical Beach Break, which is about a 15-minute drive from my house in Costa Rica. Buoys this morning, 3 feet at 15, 16, 17 seconds from the southwest. Very long period swell, a lot of long lines. Whenever I surf Dominical, I am hoping to get tubed if possible, but that's not always possible. That's just always the hope. There was a storm the night before. You can see the residual clouds. This was filmed in July, which is rainy season. You can see all of that lump in the waves there. So that wave has a pretty straight line. And yeah, a lot of closeouts. Let's look at this lump in this line here. Here we go. Waves coming in. You can see the corrugations. So check these out. You see these lines within the wave. The overall top of the wave is very straight, and then it has these extra waves within it that actually makes it honestly pretty dangerous. I'm going to be trying to avoid those waves. Jumping over the first little white waters. Looks like a pretty straightforward paddle out when you look at it, but there were a lot of waves. This is a closeout. Look at that straight line. What I'm looking for are peaks that have that more higher point with 2 lower points, and no. Just watch. Kaboom. So whenever I'm on the inside paddling out, I'm always looking for where the waves are breaking that I might potentially catch once I make it out the back. I never like to go too much further than the last wave that I need to duck dive, because usually on a sandbar like this, all the waves are breaking directly on the sandbar. And there's always a kind of risk that you'll be too far outside. And as you'll see later in the video, some of the what were kind of better waves that I was trying to go for didn't let me in. All right, so I'm still paddling. Notice this little duck dive. Watch this one. Probably a little knee duck dive here. I don't go very deep, about 3 feet in front of the white water, and just push the board under. Board is tiny, 24 liters, so I'm able to just get it. Another closeout, just so you know what those look like. Straight line. There's no variation on the top of that wave, and it all comes down at once. Now I've made it out the back, and that's largely because the set stopped coming. So in a long interval swell, you will notice that it pumps and then it stops. Almost can look even flat. And when you're out of rhythm in a long period swell, it means you're getting sets on the head on the inside and nothing's coming through once you finally make it outside. So hopefully you're in position for a good one when the waves do finally start going off again, but no guarantees, especially at a wide open beach break like this one. Here I'm just, scanning that horizon, hoping I'm not too far out and not too far in. Looking for those waves that have a peak. I am not competing with anybody, so I can get whatever wave I want. I'm going to take a look at this one. I'm shopping, forecasting my vision. Look at how many lumps are in this wave. Lumpy, lumpy, lump. Lumpland here. Just looking to see, is there a moment that I can, can I enter? And as I go up the face here, I decide, no, there was like that possibility, but there are just too many lumps on this wave. And didn't look good. Looked good for a minute, enough to shop, and now I'm shopping for this one, going out onto the shoulder. I feel like this is a good area to enter, and then no, a lump pushes me off the back. So here's what I mean, like it can look like you're far enough outside. I even thought I was too deep. So I went over to the shoulder, and this little ridge, notice these ridges, ridge 1, ridge 2, ridge 3, even ridge 4, lump up there. And this ridge 2, let's go back here, boom, just pushes me off the back of the wave and does not let me enter. That is surfing. This is people's reality a lot here. That set me inside a little bit, so even though I was too far out for the other, I'm too far in for the next one. And then this one I tried to capture. It was hard for Emin to get me on this one, but just pulled through the back of that one. Yeah, tried to show it. It was just a closeout. I just jumped through. Bad wave selection, getting desperate. All right, so then I do get one that has some open face, and when I looked at it again, I was like, wow, I really misread this whole thing and missurfed it. So what could I have done better? The beauty of hindsight being 20/20 and looking at video. If I could do this wave all over again, I would have laid into a huge bottom turn here. First, look at that crumble. I can't get into that tube. I would have bottom turned and done a turn up into that section. Instead, I do like a half pump, hoping the wave's gonna tube, because that's always my, thing that I'm looking for, but I would have been way better off turning up into that lip area there. Instead, I'm just stalling, again, praying that I'm gonna get tubed. I do pull into this section, my butt's like pretty low, but I'm actually stalling too hard here. So, completely misread both the timing of the turn on this one and the fact that, like, if I actually wanted to get tubed, hey, it's closing out. I should have pumped. So I pull in right there, and the lip's gonna catch a little bit of my board when I'm inside of this thing. And yeah, I think maybe if I would have pumped more, I could have made it out. So overall, just complete misread of this wave. So again, let's take a look here. Could have done this big swooping turn, even gone back to the power source, then pumped hard. So I missed like a turn opportunity and probably could have made the tube. All because I'm so greedy about getting tubed that I slow down. So here's where I would have pumped if I would have just accelerated rather than stalled right here. Possibility, I could have made this one. It was running pretty fast, but takeaway, I found an open wave, and cool thing, there's video. Not sure I'm gonna get an opportunity exactly like this again to do the right thing, but at least I can see in retrospect that I could have done something else. Now I'm caught inside again. Super fun, lots of duck diving. That's why we get fit for surfing, so that this is no big deal. And one of the really interesting things I've noticed, that the fitter I get, oh, there's a lump, sorry. Drew lines to show you. More lumps, more closeouts, more lumps. Well, this goes nicely. The fitter I get, the more lumpy closeouts I take on the head, the less scary that it has become. Even as I go into my 40s, so much less anxiety about being held underwater or having to duck dive more. I think maybe just because I'm not getting as winded, and so there's less reason to panic. Whew, that was a pretty big closeout. A lot of people would panic when they see a wave like that in front of them. It looks a lot bigger when you're laying down. Instead, I'm just staying calm. I don't need to be in a hurry to get out the back because I can't go any faster than I can go, and I'm better off conserving my breath. I'm already starting to think like, oh God, this session sucks. I'm starting to rethink my life choices here. Look at this closeout. Oh, pretty bad. This place does get really good, but not on this day. So let's look at this wave again. Kadoosh. An opportunity for somebody to pull into that closeout and get a vision, but that it's pretty board breaking, pretty body breaking, pretty risky actually. You got to really want the vision for that one. Now I've made it out and there are no more waves. So that set landed all on my head. Probably because that wave that I misread and misrode was a medium one, probably presaging a set. So probably got the first or second wave of the set. And then the whole set landed on my head. Now just still scanning for those corners. I think at this point I'm like, I just got to get a small wave. I just got to get anything that has an open face on it. That's probably what I'm thinking right here. I'm like, this session is going pretty bad. We should probably be surfing the other spot. And I finally found a wave. Inside wave, a little right. And we'll analyze the first turn. because honestly, this turn felt really good. And, you know, it feels crappy to get a wave this small when it's this pumping out, but sometimes that's what you got to do. So let's check this bottom turn form. I'm pretty pleased with this. My hands are lined up with my feet, and I'm able to get up to the top and throw some spray. So let's just look at the hands once again. Should do some drawing here. Here we go. First of all, eyes. Looking where I'm going to hit it. That's key. You always want to eye the spot that you're going to hit. My backhand is not swinging around. It's lined up with my back foot, and my front arm is open in front of me. Then I'm going to push through with my back foot, so the back foot initiates the turn, still looking. Hands using, they're like rudders, like stability. Looking, there's that backhand lined up. Shoulders open, eyes are looking. Gonna open that front arm towards the lip. And at this point in a backside turn, you go into the pivoting motion, and that part of the turn is blind. Learned a lot by watching the Olympics at that. You can go into the pivot a little early so that by the time that you're hitting the lip, right here, right, I'm pretty stoked that I managed to keep that front arm open here. I've struggled with that in my own surfing, so I keep it open, go into the pivot, push through with the back foot. Arms are nice and wide, and that nice wingspan, able to keep pushing a little with the back foot. Spray is how you like it. Get a little tiny bit of tail release. This board is really sensitive and has great hold, and I just can't say enough good things about the surfboard. I'll talk more about these designs in a future video. And then I'm eyeballing down the line after I do that turn, and honestly, first turn was good. Should have turned again, just gone turn to turn on this thing. Instead, I'm hoping for getting a lot of speed and doing a big end section hit. So trying to get down the line speed, and at this point I'm like, ugh, it's not gonna happen. The wave is actually softening out. I'm not gonna get the end section hit I want. So I'm gonna go for another turn and just kind of like mid-face, little bash, and then the wave gets soft. I hit like a fat spot here and can't re-enter into the wave. So good first turn. Second turn was mistimed. Should have just gone straight from the first turn into another turn. That's surfing. That's why we have video. So we can, that is a thing I can go duplicate. Just remember, go straight into that next turn. Now I'm caught inside again. Shocking. More duck diving. A lot of brown sand. There's a river mouth way up the beach here. I'm surfing on the south end. The bars were good on the south end, but just, again, this swell period was way too long. And yeah, another closeout. Duck diving, another closeout. That is what surfing really looks like sometimes. You know, people tune in to surf videos to see like awesome, rad, shredding, but you guys are here to see the reality, and the reality is a lot of stuff that is not standing. That's why I don't push people into waves and yell stand, because there's a lot of this, a lot of missing waves, a lot of hoping that you got into the wave. That one was a closeout, so good thing I didn't go. And at this point, I am just over it. No, I'm like, it's probably been a total of like almost 30 or 40 minutes that I've been out there. My sweet client, Eamon, who's filming, is probably frothing to surf somewhere better for her. So I just got this closeout, which I could have pulled into, but I like this surfboard. I like my knees, and I did not want to break either of those for the vision. I've gotten tubed a lot in my life. Didn't need the closeout tube. For those of you that say I'm a wuss, cool. Good, that's fine. I prefer to have my board in one piece and surf other tubes. So yeah, there's a kind of attitude that says you should always pull into the closeout, but I needed my taxi ride in, and that taxi was going to be better if I straightened out in front of the closeout. Note, you can straighten out in front of the closeout, and I want to show you the form for that, because that's a thing that people struggle with. And it's really nice to be able to like not get exploded by this white water. So how do I do that? Well, I turn down way before. I'm not in two minds. I have committed to straightening out. I've decided I'm not pulling in, the wave's closing out. I stand up relatively tall, keep that back foot over the tail pad, front foot is calm, and I just move the board gently towards the shore with both arms at my sides. See here? I'm not in some crazy crouch position. It's just a gentle stance, straightening out. The lip's gonna come down. There's the lip, it's coming down. All coming down in front of me. I know I could have been in that closeout tube again, but I didn't want to do it. And then the wave explodes up. I'm like, woo, fun, wee. And then I lay down on my board. Now about the lay down, this is pretty interesting. I lower down with my lower body first. So my knees bend first. And I go down kind of with my butt before my hands go down. This gives me stability to do the lay down. Let's watch this. Lay down and then ride the wave out on my belly. This is an underrepresented massive skill in surfing. Everybody needs to be able to take a whitewater in on their belly calmly and ride it all the way in. Remember, the wave is your taxi, and there's no reason you should walk in when there are tons of whitewaters that you could catch, or closeouts you could stand up on, straighten out, and lay down. I'm clearly unhappy about this session though. I'm like, oh God, it was a really bad one. And I'm sharing my really bad session with you guys because, you know, I'm an average, above average surfer, especially when it comes to like people who haven't been surfing their whole life, but I'm not a world tour pro, and even they and I have terrible sessions. Yeah, so watch this. Thumbs down. I'm like, no, let's go to another place. And yeah, thumbs down. No good. Also, I want to say, pretty proud of my fitness. Never have been this lean ever, and it feels super good. I'm proud of myself. Always wanted to be lean and fit for surfing, and now I am, and now I help other people do that too. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. For more of these, stay tuned, like, and subscribe, and I can help you in all the manners of getting rad at your surfing and your health goals. All right.